heaven for off-road fans. Hi guys, I have arrived at the Abenteuer Allrad, Europe's biggest 4x4 off-road adventure expedition. Not expedition, exhibition. But topic quite similar. Before I show you the exhibition, we'll go to the camp area, because that's really cool. I will show you some pictures how big it is. It is huge. The camp area is the best of it, about it. It's crazy. I will show you around. I will show you crazy and cool cars. And it's heaven for off-road fans. In fact, this exhibition was one of the reasons why I finally bought the G-Class. Because back in the days when we had the model Land Rover Discovery, which we tried off-roading with, we ended up here first time on this expedition area in that camp area here, and walking around between all those cool cars and crazy cars. My son suddenly said, "Daddy, I think we have the most uncoolest car in the whole area here. Look at that, for example." And in the end, he was right. And that was maybe the final step to make the decision to get rid of the Land Rover and buy a good off-road car. So something like this, for example, is kind of normal here. There are way crazier cars. I still don't have the coolest car in the parking lot here, but that's okay. At least I got one of the cars with a good engine sound and a good engine, not a boring one. And I think it's nice too, good looking, and off-road capability is also good. I'm always wondering, what the heck are they doing with this or that? Where are they off-roading? Not in Europe, at least. Because where I am off-roading, none of them would fit due to the width of the car. I think I have to ask some people. Look at that beauty. Not the Volkswagen, this baby here, 80 series. When I'm grown up, I maybe own one of those guys here. Quite original G-Wagon. Nice. And another 80 series. I once nearly bought one, but it was so old and rotten that there was too much to do. So I bought the G-Wagon, and due to the way better condition, thought I can go off-roading or camping immediately and will have nearly nothing to do. What a fail, because I had a lot to do. All the things you don't see in the first glance, the first second hours you look at it until you buy it. But I will list that up in another video. Nice one. Nice old Discovery. What is it? Series 1? Series 2? I think 2. Having an off-roader myself, I know what they think. Driving here for hundreds of kilometers on the German Autobahn or through Europe even, and then arriving here on those, I don't know, 50-meter between the camp areas, kind of little micro off-roading and having a smile on your arm. I swear every second of them is, or even more, is pulling in 4 low and differential locks. Although you would even be able to cross this with, I don't know what, Volkswagen Polo maybe. Here we go, next camp area. What is that, 100 series? Short G-Class. Quite a lot international guests here. And by the way, the next 50 meter of off-roading to the next camp area. As I told you, with the normal Unimog, you're just one of 500 here. It's crazy. Think about all the money you see only in that background. It's absolutely crazy where the off-road scene went to, or where it has come to. Crazy. Technically cool, but financially absolutely crazy, nuts. And still the big question for me, where the hell are they off-roading? Where? Not in Europe, I think. Or are many of them not even off-roading, but only driving on normal streets and going to campsites, hanging around, trying to be cool? I don't know. Or maybe they're really going on expeditions worldwide all the time, and I'm the only one that is like spending my holidays with kids and stuff in Europe distances. Crazy. Cool cars, crazy cars. Really a lot of different nationalities. As I already said, I met Belgian guys, Netherlands, France, England, Italy, and several of them. So if you're off-roading and live somewhere in Europe, I think you have to be here one time. You have to come here one time. Many of the cars that are here in the camp area are for sale. I think a lot of those guys are using the scene, the amount of people that are here during the expedition days to try and sell their cars. So they come here with perfectly clean, polished cars and for sale signs, like for sale 500,000, for example, used car, 500,000 euros, used car. One time, that one is cool, Premach. Also very cool, military Volvo truck. They're also available in 6x6, quite long then, but quite cool too. Now look at that, that is one of 4 camp areas that are a bit far away from the main camp, only that you get an idea of how huge this is. And this small camp area over there is where I ended up with my car this morning. So let's find that and get something to eat. Look at that. That's so cool. Guys, I found the goat. Damn. Standing on the roof of my car. BAW 212. In fact, quite interesting. New car and cheap. Sure, China. But on the other hand, lack of an engine. No real engine, no option. I mean, how far can you go? The exhibition is really huge. Look at that plan here. Every number is a different brand. If you're looking for roof tents, for off-road vehicles, for, I don't know, winches, for awnings, etc., you're at the right place here. Absolutely right place in Europe, I would say. And it's a cool experience anyway. Especially the camp area. I'm looking for smaller stuff such as tables and dishes and not tables, chairs and dishes and stuff and lights. And to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed when it comes to those parts. There are not so much of them here. It's more of a van life and yeah, Mercedes Sprinter and off-road 4x4 cars exhibition than smaller camping stuff. The exhibition has changed quite a lot during the last years. It's even more of those crazy, huge, extremely expensive trucks and damn a lot of Mercedes Sprinters. I think it's the vehicle that you see most here, Mercedes Sprinter. But still a lot of classic 4x4 cars, Toyotas, even a lot of G classes, what I'm a bit surprised about, because you don't see them that often in Europe on the street. Or in the wild. On the street you see them, but those are the newer ones, the shiny ones. You can also join those off-road vehicles here and ride a course. Even on those big guys here. Nice. The point about the huge trucks and the big Mercedes Sprinters here everywhere, and when I say everywhere, I mean, look at that. The point about them is that all the equipment that you get, or most of the equipment that you get here, let's call it, they don't care about weight or size, because they have space, they have weight capability. They won't go hard off-roading anyway. So that's why it's a bit harder for the classic standard 4x4 off-road cars like the G-Wagon to find equipment that is light and small enough to fit in the car. Yeah, that's the way. And also some vehicles that can in fact go off-road, even quite good. But if you try camping in one of those, you're lost, because your battery and all the systems die within the first camp night. One of the many reasons we got rid of the Land Rover Discovery. Electric classic G-Class. In fact, it has a battery pack in the front and then the small motor here, and from the center differential on, everything to the back is kind of standard from the W461. And in the back you have an additional secondary battery pack, and if you buy the long wheelbase, there are even more battery packs on each side of the car. So interesting concept compared to all the new plastic-like display overloaded off-road trying competitors. If you follow adventure, off-road, camping, 4x4 influencers on YouTube or Instagram, you will meet a lot of them here. I think I met, I don't know, 5, 6 accounts maybe, guys, girls, that I know, that I follow at least. So they're all here. If you're in Europe and you're interested, come here next year. Talking about her, I think she's called Bodenfreiheit, or she and her friend. They're doing quite cool things, by the way, off-roading with Ferraris and stuff like that. Really, believe me. And here we are with the big guys, with the test drives. Only a few Iveco dailies, although this in fact is the real off-road van. And then there are those kind of vehicles, not so many here. Look at that, that is the hood. That thing is a beast. I don't like it, but it's a beast anyway. 1 or 2 years ago there were only a few of those 70 series of the new type, the new generation of the 70 series. But this time there are, I don't know, I've seen somewhere between 50 and 100. I didn't count them, but really a lot. So this vehicle's taking over also Europe's off-road scene at the moment. Besides, or next to the Sprinter, which I still find funny, but I understand if you need the space, then maybe Sprinter is interesting. I'm looking for this little guy here. That's what I meant. You don't find things like that, or some of those things, you don't find them here, only for show purposes. But what you can do is you can meet important influencers. Hey. Or me, even both. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? That, or that color? I don't know. I have to convince my wife, as always. But I'm thinking about those rims since I have the G-Class. I really like them. The only not so cool part about it is that, I don't know, 70-80% of the Mercedes Sprinters have exactly this wheel, which is kind of uncool, but who cares? I like the style of that wheel, and I like the Evo Corse rims anyway, also others. So one day this, and remember, one day Unimog, maybe. What I'm interested in is this mattress here from iCamper. That's really interesting and should give us a really better sleep, but it's damn expensive. It's like 600 or even 700 euros, and you have to pump it up every time you open the tent and deflate when you leave the tent and when you close it, and we're doing that kind of every day. So I don't know if it's worth it, worth the money. I don't know, but we would definitely be sleeping better on that mattress. Really feels firm. Roof tents everywhere, awnings, roof racks, lights, many lights, but not the lights I'm looking for, mainly lights for the illumination of the cars, and cooling boxes, many cooling boxes and solar panels, even more cooling boxes. So if you come here, take your time. You should spend at least 2 days on the exhibition. It's simply too much for one day, I would say. Also interesting is that you don't see that much Jeeps. I don't know why. I thought Jeep was quite common, and it is in fact a very good off-road vehicle, but American style. At least the scene here at the exhibition, not expedition. At least this scene here, the people around here are not that big of a Jeep fan, it seems like. I'll show you one example of a crazy huge off-road truck. I hope you get that on camera. I mean, look at the height of the people, the size of the people compared to the car. This thing is crazy. The inside floor is about my height. So this thing is huge and crazy. I'm trying to get it in one shot here. Yeah. Absolutely crazy what people are driving around with. But cool on the other hand. Crazy and cool hobby. And inside of one of those crazy vehicles, you meet people you know. Hey, hi. But you go into detail, next level details about those crazy trucks is there really. That's kind of tech nerd details, or even that one here. That's simply different level. Look at the details here. Everything custom made, nice materials, clean design. That's it. I'm already on my way back home. I hope this video gave you a good overview over the Abenteuer Allrad 2026 exhibition, and yeah, just showed what to expect if you visit this cool place. Next videos will be about our off-road adventure to Sardinia, so stay tuned, like, subscribe and whatever. See ya.